There are ways they can get back in with just one win across the course of the weekend. Wunder and Baus facing off on the stage, giving each other a little shake of the head from time to time with the Sion ban coming out. I can kind of understand what that's about. Mundo as well banned away by SK, and Rumble and Varus taken out by Los Ratones.
You told me 6 years ago that I would be seeing Wunder versus the Baus on the LEC stage. I would call you a crazy person. The craziest of all persons, but
they
here we
just
are.
won MSI together. You know, they just won MSI together. They'd gone to Worlds Finals together. Is it really that surprising as Vi is the first pick? So SK have said, okay, we're not going to give Baus the Sion. We're not going to give Velja the Mundo. And we're not going to give Crownie the Caitlyn.
Yeah.
First pick Vi from Los Ratones.
Yeah, I want to highlight as well that we saw LR actually choose the red side, and it's something teams have been doing lately due to it's a little bit easier to access the Dragon Pit from red side. And I think something that we've seen these last few weeks with LR especially is that they're really propelling themselves into playing for these early dragons. I want to see how they tackle that in draft, because I think if you want to make sure, if you want to play for the dragons, you need to have bot lane push, and you need to have a somewhat strong skirmishing jungler. So those are my goals right now for LR if you want to secure a solid draft where they can actually do this thing where they have been successful on by collecting these dragons.
Yeah, we'll see if they can continue to do it. The Gragas locked in. It's only been played once in the LEC. That was by Baus at the start of this winning streak for Los Ratones. Corki locked in though. Crownie has played this 3 times and they have not won a single game while Crownie has been on the Corki. Zhao and the Yunara locked for SK. They're looking for their 3rd pick. Probably going to go towards top lane if you want to immediately pick into the Gragas. Gragas can be flexed to support, although I will say it doesn't really fit the Rekkles playstyle.
Yeah, I'm wondering what to do with his Ryze pick, because I thought LR would try the Ryze quite highly, because we've seen them have so much success with it. I wonder if they're scared of a little answer by leader, as it will be the Ornn lock-in for Wunder, has a lot of experience in that champion. Ornn into the Gragas, really good at nullifying all the offensive trades Gragas wants to do. You can counter the body slam with the Bellows Breath, kind of negate that and just clap him back on the way out. Go on with your life, but I wonder, because they don't really want to pick Ryze themselves, SK, right? Just because how good Nemesis was on that Anivia last time.
Sure.
So I really wonder what we'll see with the mid lane picks here, because I think it's a really cool
it's always interesting to think about, right? The Nami banned by SK, I wonder if they could ban the Anivia as well, but if they ban the Anivia, then are we just going to see Los Ratones have a different answer into the Ryze? Because Leader, although he is known as a physical damage player, like a melee AD carry player in the mid lane, not AD carries, but AD player in the mid lane. He made his first name playing Ryze.
Yes.
Right? He's very comfortable on this champ. He was a Ryze Yone Ryze
Yasuo.
Ryze Yasuo.
When I came up when I was young once, and the leader also was young once, then we were playing with each other solo queue, and he was always the Ryze Yasuo guy. He was really, really, really good on these 2 champions. So do you see the Sylas ban being hit there? I wonder, do you go for the Ryze here and just give yourself that option, or do you give last pick to leader here? Because now you blind pick the Neeko, which will be really good at denying this bot lane push. Obviously, we haven't talked about it as well, but we have Mikyx versus Rekkles on the support role, who played together 2021 on the G2 lineup that didn't really make it to Worlds.
So didn't do too well.
Maybe some hard feelings there. I think both of them really wants to win this one, and we'll see what Nemesis goes for, because they're really, really, really giving him the Ryze blind right now. They're saying, please, we insist, blind pick the Ryze.
Yeah, please,
I dare
please
you
take it. I mean, and it's a brave choice, right? Because Nemesis on this Ryze only has 50% win rate, but in every game we've seen him on it, as soon as he gets the actualizer, he is shredding through teams. He is absolutely melting them. Karma is the answer into the Neeko, something we have seen from Rekkles already, the split. I mean, you're just looking for push prio in the bot lane. Corki Karma should be able to get it in the early game, and you're trying to match double range into double range. It makes sense. It gives Velja a little bit more impetus to be able to invade through the bot side if he wants. And there is the Ryze.
It is. Okay, leader.
SK, you asked for this.
All eyes are on you, leader.
It's got to be
champion
AP.
Have you prepared? It should be AP, most likely.
Where is he going to go into the Ryze? I mean, if it's not AP, that's such an easy armor stacking game,
if I see
right?
Nasir or Orianna here, I'm disappointed. I want something else than those classic control mages. I wonder where Lidl will take this one.
What is it going to be? Yone? Emilio? Yone, maybe? Okay.
It's the Yone lock-in, and it's kind of fine because Yone does a lot of magic damage, Ornn does a lot of magic damage, Neeko does a lot of magic damage, even Yunara does a little bit of magic damage. So I think you're quite fine opting into more comfort. Yone, Ornn, really strong skirmishing combo together with the setup from that Neeko Pop Blossom is dangerous when you're playing a short-range comp like the Ryze, like the Corki. Speaking of the Corki, Corki Karma is a very strong lane, but if you make one mistake with Corki Karma, if you die to a random gank, gets caught by random tangle barbs, suddenly all your pressure is gone. So really, really, really high execution is demanded by the LR bot lane and also on Velja to make sure that they can play the game as aggressively as they want.
I feel there's going to be a lot of pressure down towards that bottom side. We have seen both SK and Los Ratones actually play a lot around mid, allowing their mid laners to get into a position where they can carry the game, especially leader Mikyx often moving up towards that mid lane. But if you do get behind as a Corki Karma, you are in no man's land. It is so difficult to actually win out in that matchup after that point. So I expect with Ornn and Gragas being the top laners, we're not really going to see too much pressure in the top lane, both of them just looking to scale up into the later portions of the game. And that is where Baus played so well. The last time we saw him on this Gragas, he was really far behind, I think 1,500 gold behind in the mid game, and then came back, was finding gank paths, was flashing in, was finding great explosive casts. He needs to do that again for Los Ratones. A win here, massive. Puts them up to about 80% of scenarios for qualification to playoffs. This single win. 2 wins, locks them. They're in, they're getting through. For SK, they have to win this game. If they're going to stay in that playoff race, they're going to stay in contention as we see. Mikyx traded on here by that inner flame out of Rekkles. Oracle's first from Mikyx. A little bit of a flank positioning coming out from Skeanz on that Zhao. Might be looking to split the map here.
Oh, look at this. This is very cheeky by Skeanz. You snuck in there. We'll probably look to start the blue buff. Ryze, I do not think we'll check it. They do not expect this. I think we might be due for a level 3 or even a level 2 gank with that Neeko setup. Most likely he will be doing 1 or 2 camps and then look to walk around and behind them and at least get a flash. I think if you get a flash with the Zhao gank, you are happy. You have achieved your goal.
I mean, maybe even get 2. Like, Mikyx can flash Tangle Barbs, and then you have the follow-up. If Wind becomes Lightning hits, 3 Talon Strike for the knock-up. Crownie and Rekkles do have the early push that we talked about.
It's going for a full bot side clear here. We'll do the blue, the Wolves, and the Gromp, because it doesn't really make sense if you go for gank now, because Neeko doesn't have the snare, so you don't really have that setup. So you really want to make sure that Neeko is at least level 2, so she can hit that E flash Tangled Barb snare combo that we are talking so much about.
Yeah. Small risk of that as well means that Crownie can get to his Valkyrie, Rekkles can get to his shield, that Inspire. Makes it a little bit harder to gank them, but it's barrier heal, no cleanse on Crownie. He is caught out with the flash Tangle Barbs. Leader and Nemesis trading in the mid lane, no real surprises there. Top lane, not really much happening.
They know this Velja is going into the top side here, though. I'm not sure if they're aware of this map split or if
they have the ward, right? So they know that the blue hasn't been started yet. Velja could just be looking for the traders.
There's no pace going out, though.
Pathing down towards the bottom side. Rekkles with an early heal. Crownie with the Valkyrie. Wind becomes lightning, burns the flash, and that's what SK were looking for.
Exactly what you need, and he still will not lose anything now because he can just go and clear his bot side and be very happy with this thing that he just did, because I don't think the Ornn really cares if he has to play a little bit safe. Look, Wunder's even dropping his top lane.
It's also a Wunder, man. Like, this guy's the weak side king. He was there before Odo was. Might look just to see how much Velja has cleared out of this. A couple of pings came out from Skeanz. Velja forced away. Bellows Breath Smite comes out. Wunder gets the 2 small ones. Velja can chase back in with the Bellows Breath down. There's no CC immunity for Wunder, but his wave is already shoved in. He's fine just backing away here, then can TP back up to the lane if he needs to correct the positioning. Pings come out on that bot side Scuttle Crab from SK. Looks like Skeanz is going to do the red, then Scuttle Crab, then Razorbeaks. Or, I mean, if he knows that he's got the time, can do the Razorbeaks first to make sure they're coming back onto that jungle cycle.
It's all about this repeat gank now in the bot lane. If Corki and Karma can keep pushing and surviving until they have summoner spells back up, they are in a good spot. And I think we need to see Velja soon pass down to defend their bot lane to make sure they're fine, because if Velja just isolates them, that Zhao will go back there. Neeko has flash and Corki does not. It's a really easy gank setup for the SK bot lane.
Velja actually, Skeanz actually backing before doing that bot side Scuttle Crab, picks himself up a longsword and a ruby crystal. So if a fight does emerge around that bottom side as the Rune Prison comes out, Bolt Breaker in as well as they chase onto leader, who does have the flash and will have to burn it. Nemesis on the chase with the ghost, won't get close enough for any more damage. Velja now is underpowered in terms of items, but has a mid laner with a lot more health. Leader catching the wave underneath his mid lane tower, and looks like Skeanz with the push out of bot should be able to get this Scuttlecraft.
Oh yeah, Leader getting out of there thanks to the exhaust he actually opted in for. Really crucial now. Velja used his one gang timer to kind of shut down Leader, but this means he won't have the flexibility to defend their bot lane.
Might lose his wolves as well.
Yes.
Ping's coming out from Skeanz, looking for that trade in, goes in with the wind becomes lightning. Nemesis has to go to mid because the wave is already there. We do see Crownie coming out off a reset, but with the wave under his tower, he's going to lose more if he goes and tries to fight around these wolves.
It's really difficult to fight there, but he gets the smite
from Velja, steals it away. Tangle Barbs does not connect.
Now Ryze has to move. He can actually come down there and see if he can make something happen. He doesn't have the ult.
He doesn't have the ghost either. Skeanz going to jump onto him, flash away from Nemesis, realizing he was in a precarious spot. And that is a big summoner down.
Still really important that Velja secured that wolf.
Yeah.
Now he's not really falling that far behind. Now it's still about this bot lane bounce though. Because still, no flash on the Corki. You need to make sure he can farm. You can't give this Neeko a gang setup, because if you fall behind with Corki Karma, I cannot retrade it enough. It's really, really doomed.
It's gone for the tier first. Crownie has, as you want to get that stacking up towards the Manamune as soon as possible. Nemesis being traded on by Leader, who does have the level 6 first, and forces Nemesis low. No TP on that Ryze means he is going to lose a couple of these minions. Velja might come across to defend, but it looks like that Ryze is just going to back away. Tangle Barb dodged by Crownie. Focus resolve from Rekkles will get the root onto Mikyx, but the wave shoves in, and Jopa very happily picks it up.
You see why this Yone was picked. Leader is so comfortable on the Yone versus Ryze. It is a tough matchup early, but he's up now.
400 gold.
500 gold approaching that.
Without a kill or anything.
Yeah, it's because of that move that Nemesis made before, losing his flash makes it so hard for him to play against the Yone. And now when Exhaust is going to come back up, it's going to be really, really scary for Nemesis.
Velja has smite. It's only 900. 600 in fact. We'll be able to secure it. Bolt Breaker's out. Here's the call of the Forge God. Leader has his own ultimate. Flash forward. Good explosive cast, but the knockup almost comes out. Baus with a great body block on it. Leader unable to get in range for the Fate Sealed. Will continue to chase onto Velja here, but Velja should be able to keep himself alive with the shield. Skeanz might look for a dive, but it's dangerous. No mana on Baus.
What a play by Baus. What a
really
great cast.
stuff,
Really bails Velja out from that Corki invade. Really nice disengage by him. Gets it out, and Leader now uses his ult, uses his timer, and now this also allows Nemesis to scale up more safely because he doesn't have to worry about that Yone ult anymore.
And cuts that gold gap as well. With the plate being taken by Nemesis in the mid lane, with minions being lost by Leader in the mid lane, you can see it's only a 200 gold difference now, whereas a few moments ago it was 300 larger. Leader can still trade well onto Nemesis, but early game has been really well managed by both teams. I think Los Ratones have been able to get back into it after falling a little bit behind on the early trades.
Look at this again.
Baus plays this so well.
Completely separates the top jungle from
It's the body slam as
and
well,
the body slam as well on these
Baus.
knockup. It was just beautiful by Baus. Gets so much space and gets Velja out of there. But now Nemesis might be the target here. Mikyx blind has no flash on this Ryze.
Skeanz is only level 5. Velja does have that cease and desist. The jump in by Leader for the knockup. Nemesis trying to get in there as well. Has a realm walk. Cease and desist coming out onto Skeanz. He's going to have to flash away. Healed up by Mikyx. Leader dashes back across the wall with the soul unbound. Tangle Barb's going to connect, but Mikyx will be slowed by Baus, who is sacrificing a lot. Explosive cast flashed away by Mikyx.
You can say what you want about Baus laning, but his mechanics on Gragas are pristine.
Top tier, man.
Top-notch mechanics there. You see it's actually the move by Mikyx being denied by the top lane and jungle of LR. Really nice defense there onto Nemesis, making sure that Zhao cannot loop around and look for that dive. Baus as well dropping a top wave just to make sure they're getting out alive there. And now no flash on the Neeko will make life a lot easier for LR as they also pick up this dragon.
First trick of the game going over to Los Ratones. Baus on the Gragas. 17 games professionally, has only lost 3 of them so far, an 82.5% win rate, as Wunder is going to proxy a couple of waves. Did get himself a bit of a gold lead because Baus has been moving down towards that mid lane. But I do want to focus on some of the longevity of these players, of how well they have managed across the course of their years. SK, when these players are playing, they often make playoffs. Unsurprisingly, a lot of people, I think, would think that Leader doesn't make playoffs that often, but 2 out of 4 across the course of his career. Mikyx has only ever missed 1 playoffs in 25 splits, which is kind of absurd. Wunder's only ever missed 2.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I also made playoffs with Leader, so I hold him in pretty high regards. I know the possibilities of this player. I know his potential. He's really, really good when it matters. Also, Trader gets a little plate as well, really cheekily, but I wonder what Wunder will now do with his moves as we take a look at these playoff rates as well.
Ooh,
also, Nemesis never missed playoffs in that Fnatic roster. He was such a dominant force. I think he wants to make sure he holds that stat high, and a win today is everything for that.
It really is, really is. Kadril, on the other hand, missed a few. Yeah, just a couple. It's SK with about a 500 gold lead, 9 minutes into the game. Jopa scaling up on that. Cull's so good on Yunara because you have all of this lifesteal from the extra autos coming out of your
spheres.
The Q, yeah, I've forgotten the name of the Q, man. Yunara's ability names are just weird. It's like Kanmei, steps, transcend oneself, something else, and something else. But, Arc of Judgment is the W. Can't remember the Q. I'm gonna have Cultivation of Spirit. I got there.
You got it?
Yeah, I got there in the end without even looking it up. Can you believe it?
Ionian knickknacks.
Yes, exactly. But for the moment, both teams, I think, will be comfortable enough with how this early game's gone. I think SK would have wanted a little bit more of a lead in the mid lane. Leader's roam not quite working out, but Nemesis the same. Wasn't able to get any kills as he moved down towards the blue buff area earlier on.
I mean, same for Wunder, I would say. I think he, with the Ornn into Gragas, is actually a really good matchup early as hold that spot. Leader might be in danger here.
Leader's going to get caught out. Cease and desist there for the follow-up. He's going to try and get out with a face. Seal does get the shield out of it. Crescent Guard from Skeanz. Leader jumps back in, and it might be Velja who's caught. SK react beautifully and find a kill on the Los Ratones jungler.
And people talk about Leader on Control Mages, and they say that he's not that good, but when Leader gets his champions, he just executed on it so well. Oh my god.
Baus is here. Explosive Gas gets the knockback. Leader dodging away. Skeanz looking for this as well. Call to the Forge God. They're going to try and jump onto Nemesis, who flashes away, but Leader jumps back with his soul realm warp out by Nemesis. He'll escape this precarious situation. Wunder still on the chase, doesn't have really the mana to go in with a volcanic charge, but saves his mid laner as Baus was looking.
Leader is making a montage right now, playing these skirmishes so exceptionally well, managing to get out of these really weird situations with great precision. I really hope we can see that again, because I really want to highlight how well Leader played that exchange, because it was beautiful.
It really was. Credit to Baus and to Nemesis as well. Nemesis escaping himself, flashing over the wall, realm warping out, being able to dodge out. Baus has so constantly been in this mid lane, looking for the explosive cast, looking to disrupt Leader's timings on his recalls, but still almost an 800 gold lead for Leader in the mid lane after getting that kill. Bot lane has been Crownie and Rekkles favored. That initial flash that was burnt wasn't punished, mostly because the player's been around the mid lane like we talked about in the draft, but because of that, Crownie and Rekkles will just get the push in the lane.
Okay, just look at this. This is the first play of Leader just dashing out of range here, threading the needle, and then make sure he dashes not on the cast, because if he would take it, if he would run to his tier 2, he would just get hit by that on the way back here.
Yeah, nicely done by Leader.
Really nice. I see a little trade in the top side here by Wunder.
Wunder just pocking the brittle onto Baus. Like, both of them know they can't really kill the other. Like, Wunder is just very tanky on the Ornn.
Time right now.
Baus is like, okay, well, I have Drunken Rage. I'll just heal up. You know, I'm good. The Happy Hour passive doing a lot of work. Across the board, small leads for SK. Los Ratones, though, have been able to get plates, it seems, on the bot side. Crownie with a gold lead for himself, about 380.
Also has the Trinity Force power spike right now, which is really big. Like, this is the biggest power discrepancy you will have for Corki for a good amount of time. And you really want to make sure you can now force a fight around this Corki. Corki is now your PowerPoint presentation that you want to make sure flows exceptionally, because he needs to push out now, look to get those power plates, and preferably fight around some objectives.
Mikyx coming in here. Pretty obvious that he is the minion right there. Nemesis wisely backs away, but with 10 seconds left on the Drake, Nemesis having to back away means that SK can push out as 3, gain control over this bottom side river. The Trinity Force and the quest complete now, the role quest for Crownie. But Nemesis, not the strongest, has a Catalyst and a Tear stacking up. He will become very powerful, but until you get the Rod, until you get the Seraph, you're not as powerful as you'd like to be. Looking for the damage onto Nemesis, who is rooted up. Pop Blossom coming out as well, and again it's Leader that sets up the play. And Nemesis that falls foul of his enemy mid.
Yeah, and it's once again, SK is just playing around Leader time and time again. We were talking about the Corki being strong, but look at the mid lane.
Velja going deep here. Call of the Forge God can come out as well. Velja just went so far forward, has to flash away. Baus trying to get him from the flank, but Velja, I didn't think he'd go forward with that Vault Breaker because of him having to burn the flash and get out. And because he's on low HP, SK will claim the second Drake of the game. They're first. Even out the score with Los Ratones. Crownie's going to get chunked out a little bit here by Leader, who can just jump away. The damage onto Crownie, though. Inspire Shield off cooldown a little bit too late to really keep that Crownie healthy.
Yeah, and this Yone is becoming a big problem. We were talking about the item gap in the AD carry department, but the mid one is even bigger. The blade for Yone compared to Analyst. Rekkles is just caught out here.
There's no way out for him, really. Might look to flash the wall, but Leader gets him. SK using the vision they placed around the dragon to then punish again. You can see what Rekkles is thinking. It's like they've taken the dragon, they'll reset. We had a little fight, they'll reset. They'll go back. Let me clear out some vision around this, but these fake tempo plays, as we call them, the fake resets can be so powerful in moments like this.
Yeah, especially when you play a comp like Vi and Karma that need to walk together to retake vision. You can't let your Karma walk in there alone. She will just get picked off by anyone that dares to sneeze at her. So really, really, really good punish there by SK, but now Leader wants to play aggressive here. There is a 1v2 potential here as Velja goes in.
Cease and desist. Leader caught out, tries to jump away. Mikyx there in time. And Leader once again escapes the clutch of death. The grub secured for SK. Mikyx there just in time to make sure no more advance could come out of Los Ratones.
Feels like Leader just has plot armor. It doesn't matter what LR throw against him. He always manages to come out alive somehow with a little bit of close maneuvering here, as now Mikyx is opening behind here. I think they will read this play. I don't think they believe that is Wunder.
I think Baus wins this. Just gonna slowly work his way away. Jopa here now, but there's a blast going for Baus. A little bit of tomfoolery, some shenanigans, you know, we'll do it. As Leader will get the push on the bot side. No real play materializing there for SK, but with a 2,000 gold lead 15 minutes in, they are happy as Larry.
And the rat trap is sprung. The rat trap was the Ryze, and now the Yone was the cheese. That they were preparing for that, and he will just try to get a little bit of plating here, and it will just be Mikyx shadowing Leader on these side lanes, making sure he can play for the 1v1, 1v2, 1v3, potentially with the Wunder TP backing him up, making sure that they always have a point of pressure in the side lane.
And it's going to be hard for Los Ratones to answer that pressure, at least in the short time right now. In 5-10 minutes, they'll have a couple of items on this Ryze. He can probably deal with it. You can see he's gone for the upgraded plated steel caps on that Ryze to try and negate some of that damage. Chainmailed laces, I would think they're called. As for the moment, Jopa and Mikyx just very happy to continue getting the pressure in the mid lane. Now Rift Herald is up. SK are pinging around it. Leader looking for the trade onto Baus. Fate Steel. Baus dodges it well with the rocket belt. A short cooldown for a long one there in favor of Los Ratones.
Baus does have those fancy feats, and you see now SK is doing the same thing again. They're leaving Wunder alone in the bot side to play weak side with TP, and they're sending everything up here to try to dive Baus. But sure can get out of this alive. He cleared the wave. He's fine for now. He is definitely chilling, as he says.
Yeah, I think it's more just about seeing if you can keep him around, seeing if you make so that his reset timer is not quite where Los Ratones want it to be. Rift Herald was picked up by SK. Mikyx still looking here, but Velja's on his way. Be a dangerous dive. There's the Pop Blossom coming out. Baus flashing away from it. Soul Unbound out from Leader. Baus escapes.
Excellent played by Baus. Such good usage of his skills, and he seems so hard to dive. I always think about these weird Gragas dives being Wunder, being the one that's outplaying the dives, but now it's actually against Wunder. Baus on the Gragas manages to stand proud and stand strong against his onslaught of SK Gaming.
Yeah, does a good job surviving through it. Leader can clear the way pretty safely with that Soul Unbound. And we did see Crownie picking up a plate in the mid lane. So gold in the top and the bot lane, relatively even between the two teams. The lead really for SK is in jungle and mid. And that lead has shrunk a little bit over the last while. Down from 2k to 1k in the last couple of minutes.
I mean, it's not a huge lead for SK at all. Yeah. I mean, this lead is very, very... The game is still really, really close, and it's going to come down to the next Dragon fight, I think. It's going to spawn in 1 minute, roughly. And you already see Dragon is spawning. We're now putting the Yone in the bot side to make sure we can have side lane push, so we have a potential either flank or a deep just front-to-back fight with Yone just hovering in our vision.
Yeah, a couple of good wards here from Los Ratones, though. You can see... Oh, I've totally broken the telestrate. Oh my goodness! Okay, in the jungle, near where the red buff is. That's where they are. For some reason, it popped up with a bunch of menus, and I'm not used to doing that. A couple of deep wards for Baus to teleport onto, if so required. Only one of them still surviving. Drake up in 30 seconds time.
Crownie?
Crownie going in, straight onto Skeanz. Mikyx flashes away as Nemesis on the chase there as well. Skeanz needs to get the hell out of here, has to use the Crescent Guard, but Nemesis is still chasing, and there's the flash out of Skeanz as well. 2 flashes from Crownie. Realm Warp in, the Vault Breaker coming out, but Skeanz has no clock to dive to.
Crownie just taking all the space in the river. He just went in there. He knows how strong he is. He knows how hard he is spiking right now, and just make sure something is happening. I love that from Crownie, just knowing he is the power right now in the LR comp, and he needs to take more space. Great job by him just jumping in there and securing this dragon for LR.
Yeah, and because it's Skeanz who died, you can't even use like a Rift Hold in mid to make sure you're getting a tower and a half or something. It will be Jopa taking the tower. Wunder should be able to get the top lane turret as well before Baus can really have anything to say about it. He'll take that down as well. So SK do get a little bit in the trade, but the second Drake to Los Ratones is huge.
I mean, you see what happens when leader is not involved in these fights.
Yeah.
SK really needs to rely on him to be in these fights. Suddenly, if he's not there to just go into the Corki, this Corki is just untouched and just has so much damage with an early 24 spike. So you really need to make sure you include Yone more in your plays. Now they're trying to dive Nemesis here. Are they going to go for the tower or the dive or knighting?
Spirit Cleave coming out. Leader realizing that Rekkles and Velja were in the area, backs away. TP coming out from Wunder as well, though. The call of the Forge God here. Perhaps Los Ratones need to be a bit cautious. SK investing 5 players down towards this bottom side, knowing that Baus doesn't have his teleport. Rekkles clipped with the wind becomes lightning, but with a Mantrid Inspire, will be able to walk away from it. And there's another tower over to SK. Meanwhile, though, Baus continues to push through top. And with no teleport on the side of SK to answer, should be able to get quite a lot of that tower.
I mean, this is super fine. Baus gets so much solo gold there and solo XP in the top side. You use your Ornn TP to come down here just to trade the tower for tower. Maybe they won't get this tower, but they still got so much gold from all that plating. So, well, if SK is getting exactly what they want, there's Mikyx tries to be some cheeky, but Crownie is a little bit too tanky to go on.
Okay trade overall for both teams, I think they'll say.
Yeah.
You get tower in the bot side, you crack through that line of tier 1s for SK, meaning you can go a little bit deeper with your vision positioning. As on the other side, Los Ratones get more gold into Baus, who is taking a slight gold lead with about a 20 CS lead in that top lane. It is the AP Gragas, as expected, out of Baus. That's one of his trademarks.
See what happens bot here, because now both Ryze and Ornn is in the bottom here, and they both really want to push this side wave out to make sure they have prio for the next play. Looks like Nemesis is going to be the one to secure it. He is probably a little bit stronger right now than the Ornn. Does have the Swifties and not the Mercs, which surprises me a little bit, just because how good the Mercs are against Gragas.
Yeah.
Reducing that stun timer on the body slam is really crucial, so with the Swifties, I think he just wants to move around the map a lot more and try to be really active in these rotations more than just being strong in the 1v1.
You have the slow from the barrel roll, you've got the slows coming out of Karma, you've got Ryze slows as well. Like, there's a few things that perhaps you want to get a little bit more movement speed out of, but as you say, the Merc Treads would have made a lot of sense. Has the Protoplasm Harness as well, Cosmic Drive and Rocket Belt complete for Baus. And the AD carries and mid lane is actually in a relatively similar position. Like, Leader's had this 800 gold lead for a while, but hasn't really been involved that much after the initial 3 kills for SK.
Definitely stagnated a little bit. Snowball didn't really go as planned. As they put down Herald in our mid, we'll try to get a little bit of chunk on this tower. Looks like
we'll get the charge in.
The crash will go down.
It's a good chunk overall from Herald. And sets up some vision control for SK as well. Velja vault breaking across the wall, but Mikyx using that shape splitter to gain vision of Los Ratones as they step in. Leader continues to push out through top.
Yeah. He's really deep on this push. Don't think that LR can stop it, but now you will just take the recall for SK Gaming and try to set up the map once again. You're sending Wunder down there versus Baus. I think this is kind of where Baus starts winning in the 1v1. When you have these 2 items, you have a lot of CDR, a lot of mana from the Lost Chapter. Suddenly becomes quite hard for the Ornn to kind of stop you from doing what you want to do, which is just push the wave and move. Wunder's just camping in the bush here. Looks like Baus doesn't want to try his luck on this bot wave.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a lot of vision control on this bot side of the map. Both teams investing towards top. No real surprises there. They both actually take Baron pretty quickly. Like, Ryze Corki does a good job, as does Yone Yunara at taking those objectives relatively fast. We have a minute 30 before we have the next Drake on the map, so expect to see SK trying to garner some control of that bot side jungle. Not really much there for Los Ratones, no camps up or anything, but you do want to be able to play around there a little bit more if you're going to try and take a Mountain Soul, which would be massive, right? Mountain Soul in this game, just negating so much damage.
I remember saying, if I'm playing as the Baus on Gragas and he's 0-0-0 at 23 minutes with more than 10 CS per minute, I'm a little bit scared because he makes miracles with way less than that.
He really does.
To see what Baus will do with this gold now, I think I'm really curious to see how he executes his fights, because I know, everyone knows how good he is mechanically on this champion.
It's all about flank positions you have to feel for Baus's. Vault Breaker from Velja will just go away. SK trying to make sure the top lane tower doesn't fall too soon. Now pings towards the Drake. 30 seconds on it. Next wave really is where we're looking. Resets coming out of Leader and Jopa towards that, Mikyx in fact, towards that top side. It's Jopa in the mid lane. And they will then step forward into that bot side jungle to get a little bit of vision themselves. Skeanz slightly delayed. He's actually had his Sundered Sky upgraded first by Wunder to the Masterwork Sundered Sky. I was wondering if that would be given towards Leader, because you get 1 per level, right? So give it towards your strongest point, or do you try and level up one of your weaker points to get them to a good level?
Jopa now to make sure that I think the Yunara will hit extremely hard in this team fight. Now when you're here early, you just take this crab, and it looks like LR is not interested in this dragon at all. They will just give it and make sure Nemesis gets a little bit more gold, gets closer towards the actualizer, and makes sure that he is scaled up for the next fight, because he needs level 16. He needs that draw to proc in. This is not the time to fight for LR, and they notice that, and they see that, and they make sure they cross-map this dragon, which is really clever.
Yeah, wisely back away from it. Actualizer, such a spike on Ryze. Made slightly cheaper this patch as well. Not enough people were buying it. It was kind of a Ryze one-trick thing, but I still see it mostly as a Ryze item overall.
I mean, me too. Yeah, also, at level 16 on Ryze is such a big power spike due to how much the spell flux damage increases with every ult point. So, see now his Roa will soon take over. He'll get to level 16, and that's when you see these bomb moments from the Ryzes that just nuke people in these team fights.
Yeah, Leader's going to be basically a whole level behind because of that VOD of Ages purchase when that ticks over for Nemesis. He's even on XP, but hasn't been able to really extend the lead that he developed earlier. Skeanz has a small lead in the jungle as well. For both these teams, not quite do or die for Los Ratones, but incredibly vital that they win this game. Their scenarios in which they qualify for playoffs drop relatively rapidly. For SK, they have to win. If you lose this, you are out of running for playoffs alongside KCB.
Do or die. Just grouping on this mid wave together with Baus. A lot of grouping. You see this bot wave is just completely untouched. They realize that, okay, Baus won't go bot, or Wunder won't go bot. We're just all gonna group topside now, because this Baron vision is the most important thing that we can put our minds to right now.
And Leader can't really push in a side lane, in the bot lane at least, because he doesn't have teleport.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, you kind of want your Yone down there, being the one to pressure. He's the one that wins the 1v1 versus Baus and versus Nemesis, but right now he needs to be somewhere close enough to join a fight if it does begin. And so he is now clearing out the mid lane. He'll go towards top after Jopa takes over mid, you have to expect. It actually looks like they might overnumber through the mid lane to make sure they get this next wave pushed in. It's a cannon wave, so Los Ratones will have to answer it. Baus is now answering on the bot side, but while this is happening, Nemesis and Velja are going to get the push in top.
And you just feel everyone holding their breath right now. The game has slowed down. You can feel the nerves. 3 kills to 1. It's a really, really slow game, really methodical, and just a very strategy-focused game, making sure you push your waves, making sure you control your spaces, and you don't overstep.
This is where Los Ratones have really thrived, right? Like, being behind and coming back. Usually from much more substantial deficits than this. Their late-game teamfighting has been great. A lot of it on the back of Baus's positioning, his charge on the Kled against G2, his Gragas as well, have been the reason that they've been able to come back in games. And obviously, you have to look at the rest of the squad as well, like Nemesis popping off, Crownie finding great positions on the Caitlyn, Velja on the Mundo being basically unkillable. But now, it feels like really one team fight could change the entire course of this game and the entire course of the split of LEC Versus for either of these teams.
Nemesis done a great job bouncing back in this game. Really was struggling in that early game, in those early skirmishes. Fell really far behind, but now level 16, free item spike. Even picked up a giant spell to make sure the dive onto Nemesis is a little bit more unrealistic for SK, making sure he can tank just a little bit more. Wonder if he'll go for a Ryze or if it's going to be like a full tank item. I'm not quite sure on the Ryze itemization at this point, because I imagine you have enough damage once you get the actualized. You don't actually need more damage, to be honest.
Often you see things like a Frozen Heart in this position. Doesn't build out of the Giant Spell, so unlikely that he's going down that route. But I wouldn't mind it into how much physical damage there is Leader stepping into Nemesis. Velja as well. SK trying to collapse quickly. The Realm Warp coming out. Fate Sealed doesn't connect on Nemesis, and because of that, he's able to escape. Crownie and Rekkles are here. TP's coming in from the top laners as well as they join the fray. Leader at half HP with no ultimate available, though.
He tried to lifesteal up here a little bit on the top side wave, but now both TPs are used. No one really wants to base, because if Baus bases or if Wunder bases, suddenly you're one man short on the top side. So we'll give the little item upgrade to Leader. Get him the upgraded shield bow there. Make sure you're pushing these waves. Look at this mid wave. Seems like LR based to make sure, and this means now that SK is a little bit far behind on gold because they need to base, need to get their items back, and this means that LR is now ahead of the tempo. They can go and retake a little bit of this river, get a little bit more vision around this Baron, and make sure that they know what's up.
I have to remember these masterwork items coming out from the Ornn. It used to be about like 600 to 1,000 gold of upgraded stats, depending on what it is. I haven't run the numbers recently, but it's about that usually.
I think it's around 700-800.
Yeah,
around
something in that area, right? Yeah. So slight leads for SK in terms of at least the itemization, but as you say, haven't been able to spend as much gold. Mortal Reminder completed on Crownie.
Gold is almost dead even.
It's basically the same, man.
Completely even. All about this mid push. LR really wants to get this push, walk into that top side, and maybe threaten a Baron start. But SK, you can't really give this mid push for free. They're hovering into the bot side.
Baus's ability to engage is so much larger when he has something like the Seeker's Arm Guard. Will have the cooldown back up. They're not forcing, they're waiting. The Drake is up, started by Leader. Velja trying to step in with that Inspired. Mikyx looking for the flank position. That Pop Blossom could be huge. He's warded out, and they know he's there with the Oracles coming out. Baus going around the side here, looking for a fight himself. The rest of the team isolated, though. Mikyx goes in as a minion! Onto Rekkles and onto Velja. Call of the Forge coming out as well as Mikyx distracted the backline. The Drake was secured, cease and desist from Velja, but SK begin to collapse. Good dash away from Velja. Leader now caught out by Baus and Crownie. Jopa trying to get the damage down. Crownie's going to Valkyrie in. Leader taken out with the explosive cast. Nemesis falling low. The Sarah shield will not be enough to save him. Flashes away from SK. Jopa's so low, they need to get out of here. As Skeanz will escape. Vault Breaker blocked by the Shape Splitter. Is it enough for Los Ratones to go Baron?
But they don't have any damage right now. Jopa is 1 HP. Leader is dead. Can you go start this Baron? Looks like they don't want to try it, but such a close fight. SK will pick up the Dragon, though. Now has Soul Point in 4 minutes. And wow, you can really feel everyone holding their breath. You saw Mikyx go for that engage, but Rekkles did not die. I wonder if he got a Mantra W out in time to just heal up a little bit more together with that redemption.
Yeah, possibly. We'll have another look at it. Because the fight is so split. Like, Leader's down towards this bottom side. Mikyx finding a great flank position.
Yeah, problem is you can't get the follow-up with Yone here. Yone is busy fighting Gragas on the bot side. He was going for Crownie, but here Baus does so well, shutting down Leader out of this fight, making sure he cannot impact the fight that's happening on the left side here.
Yeah, and then Jopa has to flash away from Nemesis immediately. Like, SK have enough damage to take him out, but Jopa is unable to join the fight, which is why SK now realize, okay, we need to retreat, we need to get out. Great use of the Shape Splitter by Mikyx at the end to block the Vault Breaker in from Velja.
And look what was used. Ornn flash, Xin Zhao flash, Yone flash, Yunara flash, Neeko flash. Suddenly, all of SK are flashless. And same goes for LR.
Ratones, man.
There are no more flashes, and Baron is coming up, which means CC is so vital. You need to land your CC because you can't flash out if you're caught in a bad position.
Baus is here to block the way in. TP coming in as well as they look for the fight. Mikyx on a flank position has the Pop Blossom. Landed onto the 3, but Baus is there, and there's no follow-up from SK. Crownie will secure the Baron. Mikyx's going to fall first. Baus with the stopwatch. Call of the Forge got onto the backline. Baus trying to get away. Explosive cast. Wunder diving in. Steal from Leader! Finds Rekkles, but Crownie and Nemesis are still very healthy. Skeanz taken out. They go into Jopa. Cease and desist in, and Jopa's down. Good knock up from Wunder. Leader taken out. And now Los Ratones with the Baron at their back, with their carries still alive, will take out Wunder. There's no escape for the Ornn in the pits. Even with the knockup, Los Ratones win the fight.
The rat trap was sprung, but LR did not bite. Crownie coming up huge in this fight. Baron secured by Crownie. So much damage going out. The Mikyx engagement looks beautiful, but there's no follow-up. Where is the Yone? He's not here. And Baus with the stopwatch just buys so much time. And put your eyes on Crownie and Nemesis. Look at the damage they're pumping out in this fight. Completely untouched. And Velja also holding the cease and desist the moment Jopa walks up to try to do a little bit of damage.
It's all on Baus. Again, you have to feel standing in that bush, delaying the rest of SK. Mikyx finds a great engage, but as you say, everyone else is still in mid lane. No one else is close enough. A huge fight for Los Ratones Corki with a massive lead now, 3.7k ahead. Has finished his 4th item. Crownie in a great spot overall. Those flashes still not yet back off cooldown, but with the Baron buff for the next minute and a half, Los Ratones have ample time to push in.
Yes, we all take a collective breath as LR now tries to siege onto this bot side with this Baron. How much can they get with this? We have the Dragon coming up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. You need to make sure you're there in time. You cannot let SK get this soul point. You don't want to let them get there first. Get there early and make sure you hold the choke point when SK walks in, because if you let them take that place first, you have barely the flashes. They're still on cooldown, and that Neeko in a choke point is still very dangerous.
It really is. It really is. Let's have another reminder just of what this has all been for. Los Ratones sitting at the cusp of 9th right now, 4 and 5. A win here puts them into that 8th position, tied, or 7th tied with Heretics and Fnatic. Would be massive for them. Puts SK down out of contention for playoffs. And then Los Ratones just need to knock off another 2 teams, just need 2 more teams to fall short.
Baus is level 20. He's 1.5k gold up as Gragas in late game, level 20. He is
Blossom onto the back line. Leader looking for the face seal follow-up. They go on to Crownie, but he's got a Guardian Angel Call of Fortune coming out as well, but Leader is unable to join the rest of the fight. Nemesis falling low. Jopa goes down first. Nemesis doing so much work here as Skeanz will come back to life, surrounded by the rats. And he's gnawed to pieces. Nemesis on the chase, able to get Wunder away, but again, Los Ratones, after being picked off, still win out the fight. They have 5 members alive. They're realm warping forward for Mikyx, and they're flashing. That one's personal. Nemesis takes the kill, and now Leader and Wunder, well, they can only wonder how they can defend.
They're going down the base medic. It looked like all the circles were aligning, all the wombo combos were landing on the LR backline, but there was no damage. No one goes down. They're going on Leader. They're taking him down. It's only Wunder to hold the forge.
The next wave is here. You can call the wave as much as you want, but Baus with a stopwatch goes golden. And Los Ratones reach for gold. They've got a license to kill, and SK were their targets. Los Ratones go to 5 and 5.